This podcast is sponsored by Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it is the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. Free free. There's also creation tools that allows you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will then distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more platforms. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. I actually use Anchor for this podcast, and it has saved me a lot of time and energy because everything is consolidated in one place. It just makes it so much easier. So if you're interested in doing the same thing, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Once again, you can download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hey y'all, my name is Christian. I'm a millennial, and this is the Millennial Mind. Millennials get a bad rap for being lazy, non-productive members of society. They are also told that their opinions are warped and that they don't matter. This podcast is designed to express an opinion, but from a millennial's perspective. We will talk about everything from love and relationships to pop culture to pretty much everything that comes to mind. Come join me on this journey of speaking my mind, and I hope that all of you are speaking your mind as well. Okay, so I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about Goli gummies. Now, we all know that apple cider vinegar is the new health kick right now, okay? So you're supposed to take a shot or two in the morning. Some people take it 3 times a day, and you're supposed to get a lot of health benefits, such as losing weight, appetite control, etc. If you guys have ever taken apple cider vinegar shots, it is a very strong taste, okay? It's a very strong taste. It burns your throat when it goes down, just the whole nine. I used to take apple cider vinegar shots as well, and I just got sick of the taste. So I tried to find an alternative to it where I wouldn't lose the benefits, but the taste would be a little bit better. That's when I found out about Goli gummies. Now, Goli gummies, they are little gummies that has apple cider vinegar in it, and you get all of the same benefits of an apple cider vinegar shot. So the appetite control, the weight loss, etc. It's really tasty, so you don't have that burning sensation that's going down your throat every time you consume it. It's amazing. It comes in nice little packaging. They also have, you can also get an individual bottle if you want to try it, or you could do the 1 month supply, 3 month supply, or even a 5-month supply of these gummies. I take them every day and I love them. I try not to eat them as candy because they're just that good. If you want to take advantage of these gummies, I do have a special promo code for my listeners. You can go to go.goli.com/cfuller to get an additional 5% off your purchase. And there is nothing wrong with additional savings. I will take whatever I can get. So if you want to take advantage of these gummies, go to go.goli.com/cfuller to get additional savings. Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of The Millennial Mind. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey of speaking my mind, and I hope that all of you are speaking your minds as well. First of all, did you guys miss the Millennial Mind last week? I know I did. As I was telling you guys a week before last, I didn't want to just put out any old content to you guys. I wanted to make sure that whatever I put out is current, that is well thought out, and I did my due diligence. And I just felt like last week just wasn't the week for me where I would have content that I thought was good to put out, so I just didn't do it at all. But now I'm back. I am back, and I believe that I have something good for you guys. But before we get into today's episode, just a couple of church announcements. Number one, the live that I do every Monday night. Are you guys listening to it? Do you know the name? If you guys do not know, it's called Live and in Color, and it's with my good friend Renee B. Renee. We do it every Monday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, every Monday. At first, we were doing Instagram every week, but now we're doing Instagram one week and Facebook the next week. So this week, we're going to be on Facebook. So for Facebook, you got to make sure that you add Renee B. Renee as a friend, and then you'll be able to see the live. Or you really don't have to do that. You can just access the live because it'll be public. For Instagram, you got to make sure that you follow me, Christian J. Fuller, and then RBR Blogs. And the live will be on RBR Blogs page. If you follow me on Instagram, the link will be in the bio. Okay. So every Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, this coming up Monday, which will be June. What will it be? I don't know. So let me get the date really quick. So this coming up Monday will be June the 14th. So on June the 14th, we will be on Facebook. So make sure that you look on Renee B. Renee's page and in order to access the live. And that will be at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. The link will be in my bio if you follow me on Instagram. Okay. Also, there will be a new blog post coming out this month. I want to make sure that I get it out by next Friday, so be looking for that. Okay, let's get into today's episode. So I may be a little bit late on this, but I think this is continuing to build up, and so it may not be too late to talk about it. But if you can, as you can see from the title, like, you know what I'm about to talk about. Naomi Osaka. So if you don't know who Naomi Osaka is, she is a Japanese tennis player. She's actually half Japanese, half Black. Her I believe her mother is Japanese and her father was of Haitian descent, or is of Haitian descent. But she plays for Japan. So she is a Japanese tennis player. She's about 22, 23 years old, and she's well known for beating Serena Williams. And as we all know, Serena Williams is a powerhouse all in herself. So if anyone beats Serena Williams, it's like, whoa, who is this person? That is Naomi Osaka. So she's been in the news lately because she did something that was pretty rare for a tennis player, let alone an athlete, to do. So, as you may know, you may not know this, as a professional athlete, not only are you required to play the certain number of games you're supposed to play, but you're also required to do press. That is standard. If you don't do it, you get fined, and there may be some other repercussions if you continue not to participate in the press. Naomi Osaka, She is an introvert like myself and like a lot of people out there. When she talks, it pretty much drains her energy. It stresses her out, it makes her anxious, which I understand. You're talking in front of millions of people about something that you can prove better than you can speak it. So I can see how that could make somebody pretty anxious and pretty stressed out. So she didn't like talking to the press. And every time she talks to the press, she has kind of a breakdown almost trying to prepare for this. So the French Open was, I believe, a month ago or so, more or less. It was within the past month. And she got so stressed out by the press that she decided to skip the press for the French Open. And as you know, that is a big no-no. And her reasoning was that, the press asks her the same questions over and over again. It really stresses her out. She can speak better on the court than she can in front of any news reporter, any camera, any microphone, which I get. Of course, because she skipped this this press conference, she got fined. I believe it was the tennis association was like, hey, you can't do this. We're going to fine you $15,000. We don't care if it's your mental health. I mean, they didn't say that verbatim, but that's what can be inferred because she was saying that her mental health was being affected by doing these press conferences. So they were saying, we don't care. You do the press. You do what we're telling you to do. And she said, oh, bet. You want to fine me for this, for saying that I'm trying to protect my mental health, so you don't care about my mental health? I don't care about this French Open. I'm going to withdraw. So she withdrew from the French Open and she put out a statement about this. And I just want to read it to you guys really quick so you can get a feel of what her thinking was. Hey everyone, this isn't a situation I ever imagined or intended when I posted a few days ago. I think now the best thing for the tournament, the other players, and my well-being is that I withdraw so that everyone can get back to focusing on the tennis going on in Paris. I never wanted to be a distraction, and I accept that my timing was not ideal and my message could have been clearer. More importantly, I will never trivialize mental health or use the term lightly. The truth is that I have suffered long bouts of depression since the US Open in 2018, and I have had a really hard time coping with that. Anyone that knows me knows I'm introverted, and anyone that has seen me at the tournaments will notice that I'm often wearing headphones as that helps dull my social anxiety. Though the tennis press has always been kind to me, and I want to apologize especially to all the cool journalists who I may have hurt, I am not a natural public speaker, and I get huge waves of anxiety before I speak to the world's media. I get really nervous and find it stressful to always try to engage and give you the best answers I can. So here in Paris, I was already feeling vulnerable and anxious, so I thought it was better to exercise self-care and skip the press conferences. I announced it preemptively because I do feel like the rules are quite outdated in parts, and I wanted to highlight that. I wrote privately to the tournament, apologizing and saying that I will be more than happy to speak with them after the tournament as the slams are intense. I'm going to take some time away from the court now, but when the time is right, I really want to work with the tour to discuss ways we can make things better for the players, press, and fans. Anyways, hope you are all doing well and staying safe. Love you guys. I'll see you when I see you. So that is pretty much her mindset. It's basically saying that she is focusing on herself, on her self-care, and that's going to be her focus until she gets herself together to the point where she can play and participate in these tours without feeling that social anxiety. Now, there were some people who were against her, against what she did, and it seemed like the majority was for her. I want to point out something that Venus Williams said. Now, Venus Williams is a sister of Serena Williams, and Venus Williams is another powerhouse all in herself. But her response to Naomi Osaka's decision was as follows. For me personally, how I deal with it was that I know every single person asking me a question can't play as well as I can and never will. So no matter what you say or what you write, you'll never light a candle to me. So that's how I deal with it. But each person deals with it differently. Venus and Serena are such OGs. So basically, Venus was saying, I don't let it bother me. Now, even though that's her mindset, there are other people who do take it a little bit more personally. So I'm sure that Venus wasn't trying to discount what Naomi was saying, but like she was saying, everybody deals with it differently. I'm actually for what Naomi did. I believe it took a lot of courage. I believe it took a lot of strength. And I believe that she's going to set like a boundary in these tours where, that there's going to be a focus more on self-care of these players. And it makes sense too, because these players are making you money. So if they're not playing their best and if they're not their best, you don't make any money. So it behooves these tennis associations to make sure that these tennis players are in the right frame of mind and that they're the best tennis player that they can be on and off the court. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of hedgeway Naomi makes with this stand, where she just took time away from the tennis court altogether. I know me, I don't want to watch tennis if it don't include Naomi Osaka, Venus Williams, or Serena Williams. That's just me. So it's going to be interesting to see how tennis is going to be in the future without Naomi Osaka being present. But I agree. I agree with her 100%. I feel like a lot more associations and even in other sports, baseball, football, basketball, need to focus on these players' mental health, because it's okay if they physically are well, but if they're not mentally well, their physical health is going to deteriorate right along with it. And I think if more associations will recognize that, more money will be made and they'll have more happy players. So, what do you guys think about this situation? Do you agree with what Naomi did or do you not? Let me know in the comments below. You can also send me an email at mindofmillennials@gmail.com. Make sure to like our Facebook page, The Millennial Mind, and our Instagram page, the_millennial mind. And of course, I always have a quote for you guys. And this one is from Naomi Osaka herself. And it says, "You just got to keep going and fighting for everything. And one day you'll get to where you want." Naomi, I hope that with what you're fighting for, that you get what you deserve and that you get what you want, and that you set a path for future tennis players coming after you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and until next week, I will talk to you guys soon.